There's one question left here, more or less on the same thing. What are your thoughts to the candidates here on the possible budget cuts to the Sure Start programme which could affect Penhill? I'll go to Laura for that.
Well, Sure Start is vitally important for an area like Penhill because you've got education and learning, not just for the small children but for the parents as well. If funding is cut, that could have a disastrous effect for young mothers who rely on the support of these groups. They rely on being able to get out and see people they know. This is about sometimes the only time they can get out and socialise with your other young women that they know, for their children to socialise. So it starts early. It starts with socialising your children, educating your children, and it all goes back to if you educate your children early about how to interact with everyone else, then that's a thing about antisocial behaviour. You can't really ignore that. Basically, if funding is cut, young people and their children are going to suffer, and I can guarantee if they're not socialised and educated early, antisocial behaviour is going to get worse.
Okay, Andy, very quickly.
It is very much a national issue. Sure Start is a national issue, very much controlled by central government. It's centrally government funded. Sure Start's very important to Penhill. I was involved when the decision was made. I was actually involved in the community at the time. That's why we decided to allow it to go over the community centre. That's how important it was to us within the community. No, I don't want to see it cut. I don't think it would be cut immediately if we get a Conservative government, but I do think it would be certainly at risk over the years to come. The thing is, Penhill is one of the areas that is clearly identified as actually needing this sort of thing, and I do believe that the Conservative cuts will cut into Sure Start, but whether or not the Penhill one will actually be affected, would have to look at the depth of those cuts that were actually being made. And I don't think it's right to say to people, it's going to be cut. The fact is, it could be under threat. We don't know yet. The point is, the Sure Start is a massive, massive project throughout the whole of the country. And there are some areas where you would say, well, why have they got a Sure Start centre? They're not particularly what you'd call a poor or an area that actually needs that sort of help. So there is some questions being asked.